Hello and welcome to the Sports Cruise on the Our Media channel with me, Josiah, where it's another edition to look forward to the most interesting news across the world of sports. You know that the English Premier League is still ongoing, but we have news from the camp of Chelsea, and not just that, but international break is also upon us, so we will take a look at all the players that are ready and fit to play for their national teams. But we start off with the French national team with the arrival of the players. And guess what? For the first time in a long time, Jules Koundé has got a challenger with regards to dressing up and looking good for international duty. And guess who this person is? It's Liverpool's defender Konaté, who many believe that dressed, to really kill the occasion. We've known Koundé to have a great sense for fashion, but this time round it was a Liverpool defender Konaté who dressed in style to really catch the attention of media personalities around. But let's take a look at what happened when the French players touched down for international duty. All right, so over the weekend, something interesting happened in the Spanish La Liga, where Espanyol were in action in the Spanish La Liga. But guess what happened before the game kick-started? During the game, there's this customary act of teams using mascots, that would escort players to the pitch, before they exchange pleasantries and then, begin with the game. But this time, Espanyol, acted with so much class, they ended up using abandoned dogs. Yes, abandoned dogs who are in search of their home as mascots for their game against Mallorca just over the weekend. That's such, a classic act. We've seen teams normally use kids with some disabilities and also challenges, but for Espanyol, they decided that no, they were going to use dogs that are still searching for, their respective or rightful owners and also their homes. And I believe that's just a good gesture from the La Liga team over the weekend. All right, now to the English Premier League, where there was one interesting game at the Etihad, where it was Manchester City up against Fulham. City ended up winning that game by 3-2. But there was one particular highlight from that game, and it had to be a former Wolverhampton Wanderers winger and also Barcelona winger who is currently playing for Fulham. That's Adama Traoré. This player has been known to have, a very, very bulky physique. He's very, very fast as well. But one of the things that has really been his bane in football has to be his finishing. And on the day, despite the fact that Fulham lost that game by 3-2, quite a number of chances, big chances fell the way of Adama Traoré. And a couple of times he hit the shot or the ball into the stomach or the patch of the goalkeeper Ederson, who later had to complain that he was feeling pains, in his tummy. And that's Adama Traoré, typical of him. He has the pace, but lacks the finishing. But after the game, one interesting thing has to do with Manchester City coach Pep Guardiola trying to teach Adama Traoré how to bury chances. It's quite ironic that not even his coach had to call him to teach him, how to bury chances, but the opposition coach in Pep Guardiola called Adama Traoré and just gave him a lesson or two about finishing chances. Maybe Pep Guardiola learned a lot from Erling Haaland in training. Ghana football witnessed one of the biggest and most shocking transfer news when recently Barcelona ended up signing two youngsters from Ghana, one playing for Dreams FC and the other also playing for Accra Lions. But one of these two guys, who goes by the name David Odro, he's a highly rated footballer, quite young, and he's playing for Barcelona B now, but currently he's trained with the Barcelona senior team. But he has spoken about life so far since joining the Catalan side. He shares his insight on how training with the first team has been quite more relaxed as against, reports that they're struggling to settle with life at Barcelona, while also training with Barca B. has been intense and aggressive, and how he's really coping with life in Barcelona.
Oh, first team training there good, like no pressure.
Yeah. I say, but Kola on the old training junior side, don't have pressure.
Pressure on.
Pressure.
Me call first team no, and me ba Nkolama. First team training no pressure.
No pressure. I want someone experience in the high. No, ah. But Kola under pressure. You got the press now. I'm press.
Hey boy.
Ah.
So to another interesting story, where over the weekend in the Premier League, there were quite a number of incidents, quite controversial ones happening. But this time it was at the Stamford Bridge, where Chelsea played against Nottingham Forest. And in that game, towards the end of that game, where there was a scuffle between Chelsea players and then also Nottingham Forest players. But then another interesting thing that you could take note in the video is where Cole Palmer had just isolated himself, and he doesn't even look bothered at all. You can see him just, not trying to get involved with the scuffle which is going on, and it's raised quite a lot of concern. Bye.